Hello there, welcome back to my world of stuff. What a lovely day. It's Monday the 3rd of April. For a change, I'm not complaining about rain and grey, drizzly weather. Beautiful day, quite warm. Probably the sort of day it would be nice to be sitting outside with a cool drink. But instead of that, I'm heading into a cinema. I'm going to see John Wick 4 at last. I planned to go and see it yesterday, Sunday, but that went slightly wrong for various reasons. So I'm off to spend a couple of hours watching Keanu Reeves killing hundreds and hundreds of people. So, yeah. Stick with me for my comments on the film after this. Hello and welcome back. Okay, John Wick 4. I'm going to keep this quite short because obviously I'm a little late to the party. It's been out now for just under 2 weeks, I suppose, like 12 days. So you'll have all seen either the film itself or YouTube videos, you read reviews, so you'll know broadly what the film is about. But I just thought I would throw my cap in the ring with my opinion on the film, just for completion's sake. Don't worry, no spoilers here. I'm not going to give anything away from the film. I'm just going to round up my view of the whole John Wick franchise in a way, because this is a franchise that I was familiar with. I saw the first film, I'm thinking about a year, 18 months ago. Finally caught up with the other films in the last week or so, in fact the last fortnight. And so I was ready for John Wick 4, and I quite like the world that the films have created, all the stuff with the Continental and this idea of this cabal of assassins and their codes of honour and so on. I found that quite interesting. And when I heard a couple of years ago about a spin-off series based on the Continental, it didn't really click to me about the place in John Wick that holds, the importance that it holds. I'm quite interested in finding out a bit more about this mysterious high table. And I like all this background continuity of this underworld of assassins and killers who operate way above the law. And have their own code of honour. I think that's quite interesting. And I think as the films have developed, that's become a little bit more immersive and a bit more fascinating. So I was pleased to see that this fourth film fully embraces that. The story basically is that John Wick is now on the run. Lots of people are now after him. He wants to bring down some of the leaders of the high table. He's tired of being this killing machine, but everybody's after him. Whether it's a new bounty hunter called Mr. Nobody, or the mysterious Kane, a blind assassin who's brought in to kill him off. Plus a mysterious new character, the Duke. I can't remember his exact name now. I'll put it down here. Who is played by the excellent Bill Skarsgård. And there's this massive bounty on his head. And the stakes are higher than they've ever been for John in a way, really. Because Winston, the manager of the Continental in New York, his life is in danger. So John Wick's got a lot to do. And the story as it is involves a massive amount of globetrotting. I suppose that these are films where the story itself isn't that important. It's the action scenes, of course. That's what we're here for. And once again, these films prove that, they do action like no other film franchise. Much as I love the Mission Impossible films and have a soft spot for James Bond, they're really in the playground compared to what, purely in terms of physical fights. I think in terms of stunts and coordinated stuff, obviously Mission Impossible and Tom Cruise has got it wrapped up. But in terms of choreographed gung fu action sequences, the John Wick films knock it out of the park. And in this film, it just goes to another level. You do wonder where on earth both action cinema and this particular franchise go. The action scenes are just stunning. I mean, the film takes 10, 15, 20 minutes to sort of warm up, to find its feet, and then it's wham. The fights are just extraordinary and insane and incredibly over the top. It's just an expression I keep coming back to because they really are absolutely insane and extreme. John Wick does things that no human being could do. He's put through agonies and injuries that no human being can survive. A number of times he has head-on collisions with a car and rolls across the ground and gets up groaning and moaning. He gets shot, beaten up. There's a sequence at the end which I couldn't help laughing at because it reminded me so much of the classic Laurel and Hardy Music Box episode where he's trying to get to the top of these stairs near the Sacre-Cœur in Paris for this final showdown. And dozens of assassins just appear, and he's fighting them off, and he gets to the top of the stairs, and then he's kicked all the way down again. And it's really done in that sort of way. You just see him bouncing and rolling down these stairs. At one point, he smashes into this pillar and rolls down, and then he just gets up that, at one point, Lawrence Fishburne's character, the Bowery King, comes to Paris to give him a new suit. It's a Kevlar suit, which will give him some protection from bullets, which really means that our boy Keanu, who plays John Wick, of course, he's running around with his arm up like that, being shot at. This apparently keeps all the bullets at bay, although you don't see any damage to this. It's just complete high fantasy. Normally I would sort of go, oh God, this is ridiculous. But you can't help being swept away by the insanity of it all and the spectacle of it all. And there's a sequence around the Arc de Triomphe. And you think, and I know it wasn't filmed there, it was all done in different places and composited together. But you sort of think, how did they choreograph this stuff? There's cars everywhere. There's motorbikes flying everywhere. There's people leaping and shooting and punching. And it must have been absolute hell to film. I read somewhere that there was a hellish scene to film. I can imagine it because it's the choreography and the split-second timing that they must need to do these things. It takes your breath away. It absolutely takes your breath away. And that's what the film does. It leaves you sort of exhausted. I mean, it's a long film, it's nearly 3 hours. And it doesn't really feel like it. I have to say, I didn't find it dragged at all because you're not necessarily following the intricacies of the story and the plot maneuvers. You're just watching the fighting scenes. There's a great scene in a nightclub with Scott Adkins, who's completely unrecognisable in this huge fat suit as this assassin called Killer. It's just one long action fest. Beyond that, it's actually very well made as well. It's very well photographed. Cinematography is really good. There are endless scenes set in cathedrals and clubs and huge open spaces. There's a very interesting, very, very well done confrontation scene, which sort of sets up the final arc of the story, which has got the Eiffel Tower in the background in this huge sort of open palace space. It's beautifully done. It absolutely looks terrific. It's $100 million budget, but it looks a lot more because it's done so incredibly. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun, a really good sort of film to just watch and just in awe of how they do this stuff. I mean, I know it's a cliche, the things they can do these days, and I'm sure there was a lot of CGI elements and stuff like that, but the fights themselves, they're man-on-man fight scenes, and you can't fake that. So I really enjoyed this film. Where the franchise goes now, I don't know. We shall have to see. There is talk of further entries and a spin-off, I think, which is coming quite soon. But I think it's a very worthy entry, and what I've found is a really enjoyable action series of films. I'm really glad I've caught up with them all. I'm really glad I've seen John Wick 4, which is in cinemas now. I'm going to give it as a film. For pure balls-to-the-wall entertainment, I'm going to give it 8.5 out of 10. I mean, it loses a point and a half for being story-wise. I mean, it's not a stupid story. If within the John Wick universe, it's an extremely good story, but it's not high art. It's not meant to be. It's an action film, and I think in that degree it works perfectly well. It's in cinemas now. I enjoyed it, so go and see it if you haven't seen it yet. Right, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Things have ground to a halt a bit lately. I've lost a couple of subscribers. Where have you gone? Come back. So subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see a bloke in glasses talking about films, TV and other stuff. Because it's nice to have you here. And please leave a comment. Please, it would be nice. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of John Wick 4, where you think the series goes next. No spoilers. Right, thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Until I do, keep taking the stuff.